Good morning, everyone. Today's Saturday. It's June 5th. I'm Karen. I serve a church in Onalaska, Wisconsin called First Lutheran Church. And I'm going to share with you a little bit about what I've been musing. I'm feeling a little bit more casual this morning than usual. I'm just sat down on our deck instead of our patio because I've been making bread this morning. And I was musing. There's nothing better for me to kind of just let thoughts roll around in my head than to bake, and especially to bake bread. So I had an analogy rolling around in my head. I'm not sure if it's complete or not. We'll find out together, because I thought before I lose this, I'm going to share this with them, which is why I'm still in my t-shirt and holding my cup, because I have not yet had a sip of coffee. So just a moment. I was making the bread while the coffee was brewing. So I'm making this bread. It's a loaf I've made often, although not recently. I haven't made much bread at all, which I think is what depression will do for me anyways. So the fact that I've been baking and now I'm getting up early and making bread tells me that wellness is on its way. I don't think it's totally here yet, but we're getting there, which is good. So as I was making the bread and I was thinking about the notes I put in the back of my head the last time I made it, and as I was kneading the dough, trying to decide whether or not, before it even got onto the counter, whether or not it needed more water, as I was noting the texture of the dough as I was kneading it, and I was like, I might have put too much water, maybe it needs a little flour, well, let's just keep going. And then as the bread came together, and just listening to my instincts and to what I know about baking bread, to just let the loaf come together. As I was doing that, I was thinking about this push and pull that I'm feeling inside myself right now, which is, things are starting to open up. Those of us who are vaccinated are allowed to not wear masks, and people are rushing back to things that were normal or the way life was pre-pandemic. And I feel that tug. I feel that tug greatly. But I also feel this push to slow down and to take note of things around me, to spend some time reflecting on this last year and deciding, do I need to add some more to my life? What do I need to change? What does it feel like right now? Like, if my life were the dough, do I need a little more water? Do I need a little more flour? Do I just need to keep kneading it a little bit and it'll all come together? So I'm feeling this push and pull to take advantage of this incredible moment that we have, where our lives literally stopped and then and now are beginning again, like the ultimate reset, right? We always say, if we could just start over again, and here we are, we get to start over again. Or do I just go back to a life that, quite frankly, I really enjoyed? And I really am feeling the need to just slow down a little bit and be reflective. And I wondered about that because it took me a few weeks to not wear my mask at the grocery store. This week was the first week I did that. And it was a little weird, but it was fine. And I wondered, is this just something that is it just, we just have to get used to being back into this way of life that's often hurried and doesn't allow for rest, doesn't allow for reflection, doesn't allow for the things that actually feed our souls? Or is this something else? And I do think this is something else. And so in the mix of all of that, I read earlier the readings for tomorrow. And I got to tell you, once again, I'm glad I'm not preaching, because the gospel text can be a difficult one. And the Spirit was telling me this would have been a difficult one for you. But But the first reading that we won't hear is from Genesis 3. And in Genesis 3, that's where Adam and Eve have chosen together to listen to the serpent. And so they eat that fruit. They realize they're naked. And then God comes into the garden. And it's that encounter between them and God. And so I've been thinking about that reading in light of this musing time that I've had this morning. And really thinking, I need to follow my instincts in this case. And I need to slow down and resist the temptation to just go back to the way my life was pre-pandemic. Because as much as I enjoyed it, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the most healthy way to live. And so that's what I've been thinking about. I hope you're giving it some thought as well. I hope that you're listening to your own instincts, that you're allowing yourself some time, especially on beautiful mornings like this before it gets crazy hot here. You're allowing yourself some time to just sit with your beverage of choice and ruminate. Allow the Holy Spirit to do a little kneading in your heart as we figure out what the textures of life are going to be going forward. So I hope and wish that for you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Remember, 10:30 worship is outside tomorrow, unless something happens between now and then that makes us decide not to, but I doubt it. And so bring your chairs if you're coming to 10:30. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Be well, friends. Remember, Christ is with you, and so be kind.